there, it is Sunday, so that calls for a new week of meals I'm going to be throwing at you. But first, I'm going to be making a Q&A type of video here in the near future. So what that means is I'm wanting you guys to ask me questions and I'm going to be answering them here in a video in the near future. So if you have any questions for me that you just don't quite know yet, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. You could also ask me those questions over on Instagram. Here is my Instagram tag. But anyways, I would love to hear all of your questions. Don't be afraid to ask me, but I hope you guys all enjoy this week of meals. I decided to take it a little bit easy this week and just do some simple meals for you. I hope you guys all enjoy them, and if you are new here, I'd love to have you over at my channel, so go ahead and subscribe down below the video, but let's get cooking. To get us started off, we're just making some bacon chicken ranch wraps. So to begin, I'm just going to be making some semi-homemade ranch dressing. I just follow the instructions on the back of the Hidden Valley ranch packet. So all it is a half a cup of mayo followed by a half a cup of some milk, and then about 2 tablespoons of your ranch seasoning mix, and then you just kind of shake it up. This ranch dressing is best refrigerated for a couple hours, so I just put it in the fridge. And now I'm going to begin working on the bacon, so I'm just using this natural Oscar Mayer bacon. I was all out of the Costco bacon, so I used this and it turned out good, but I still prefer the Costco bacon. Anyways, I'm just cooking up 3 strips of the bacon, and here I am. I have 2 chicken breasts right here. I just sliced one thinly in half, and I'm going to be frying that up in a little bit of some olive oil. The seasonings I'm using is just some paprika, onion powder, and some garlic powder along with salt and pepper. I just cooked this completely through. As you see, we're just going to begin assembling our chicken wrap. So I just have a flour tortilla right here. I added the chicken, the bacon, the cheese, the tomatoes, and then some of our homemade ranch dressing, and then lettuce, and then I just wrapped it up. I just love making chicken wraps. They turn out super delicious and they're great for summer. Now I'm going to be showing you some Frito Pies. I grew up in New Mexico. I don't know if you know that yet, but we ate Frito Pies all of the time. So to begin, I'm just browning up 1 pound of ground beef. Once that is completely cooked, I drained out all the grease, and now I'm just going to be adding a little bit of this taco seasoning. Add more or less taco seasoning, just depending on how flavorful your family likes it, and then about 1/3 cup of water. And I'm sure you already know this, but I always love to add a can of pinto beans that I drained and rinsed to the ground beef after it's cooked. I just find that is my favorite way of warming the pinto beans up. We don't want a naked Frito pie, so we're just going to add some toppings to it. So I'm just chopping up some tomatoes along with some iceberg lettuce, 1 lime, and you don't see it, but I'm going to be chopping up a small amount of some white onion as well. To get our Frito Pies nice and assembled, we're just going to start with the Fritos. I'm just using the original Fritos, but I've actually always wanted to try Frito Pies with a chili cheese type of Frito, so let me know down below in the comments if you've ever tried your Frito Pies with the chili cheese ones. I might have to try it. Anyways, I just added some of that ground beef mixture along with the tomatoes, the lettuce, the onions, and some sour cream, cheese, and the lime. Here is my big old plate of Frito Pie. We really love Frito Pie in my house. It kind of reminds me of my childhood. This is just such a yummy comfort food to me, and I just put some salsa on top. It just gave it some great flavor. I'm going to be showing you a broccoli chicken bacon Alfredo dish right now. So into my large Dutch oven, you could also just use a pot or a saucepan for this. I have some olive oil in there that I heated up, and now I'm adding my 2 chicken breasts. I did slice my chicken breasts thinly in half so they cook a little bit quicker. I just added some salt and pepper to both sides of that, and I let that cook completely through. Back here in my frying pan, I'm just adding about 5 pieces of bacon on my pan, and I'm just going to cook this up. You could add more or less bacon, just depending on how much you guys love bacon. Again, this is just the Oscar Mayer brand of bacon, but you could use turkey bacon or anything you prefer. Now that my chicken is completely cooked, I just removed it to a separate plate and I put some aluminum foil over the plate to keep it warm. Now we're going to begin on our Alfredo sauce. So I have about 5 cloves of garlic right here. I'm just pressing it into that same Dutch oven, and then I'm just going to stir it around until it becomes fragrant. Be careful, you don't want to burn your garlic. Garlic is always super easy to burn. Now that my garlic is fragrant, I'm adding in my 2/3 cup of heavy cream along with 2/3 cup of milk, and I'm just going to stir this around. You want to scrape up all the bits on the bottom of your pan because that's where all of the flavor lies. I brought this up to a boil, then turned it down to a simmer, and now I'm adding in my 1 cup of Parmesan cheese, and I just whisked this all together until that Parmesan cheese got nice and incorporated. I just seasoned it with a little bit of some salt and pepper to taste, just a little pinch of both. As you see right here, I'm just steaming up some broccoli. This is just frozen broccoli and it's about 2 cups of that. And then back here I just boiled up 8 ounces of fettuccine noodles and they are ready to go. As you can see, my Alfredo sauce is a little bit thin, so I'm just adding a cornstarch slurry. All that is a tablespoon of cornstarch and a tablespoon of water combined. And I just added that in, and that is supposed to thicken it up. And as I speak right now, it is getting quite a bit thicker. That is what this pasta sauce needed, so I suggest doing that if you were to make this recipe. Now I'm just going to be adding in our broccoli that I steamed up along with our diced up bacon. All I did was chop it up along with the chicken. I also chopped that up, and then my fettuccine noodles, and then you're just going to mix everything to combine. If you were to make this recipe for some hungry teenagers or a bunch of people, I do suggest doubling it because it was the perfect amount for my husband, myself, and then my daughter Brinley. She ate like a little mouse. She ate a small amount of it, but of course, to her little body, that was a lot of food, but here it is. It came out so delicious. I was stuffed after. This was the perfect meal. I will be making it again here soon. Now we're going to make some cheesy barbecue stuffed zucchini boats. We're going to start out by sauteing 1 white onion. So into my pan right here, I just added a tablespoon of some olive oil. I let that get nice and hot. Then I added in my 1 diced onion and I stirred this around for about 5 minutes until it got a little bit soft. As you could see, Brinley was wanting to help, so she was stirring it right there. Once those onions were a little bit soft, I added in my 4 cloves of garlic. I continued to let this cook for about 2 more minutes. I just wanted to make sure I didn't burn that garlic, but I did want all those flavors to infuse together. Now we're going to work on the filling for inside the boats. As you see right here, I have 2.5 cups of some shredded chicken. I just boiled this up in my Instant Pot and then shredded it. You could easily just buy rotisserie chicken, shred up that chicken, or just boil up chicken, however you choose to do so. And then I added in 3/4 cup of sharp cheddar cheese and then the onion garlic mixture. Next, I'm just adding a 1/2 cup of this barbecue sauce in there. You could use any type of barbecue sauce you prefer, of course. I have 3 zucchinis right here. I did wash them really well beforehand. I'm just slicing them in half and you're just going to scoop out all of the centers in the zucchinis. I just used a spoon to do this. You could also use a cookie scoop or however you choose to do so. I just put all the centers in this bowl, and you could definitely use the center of the zucchinis for something else. I fried them up on my stove the next day and just ate them for a snack with Brinley. I just put those zucchinis inside my 9x13 baking dish, and I'm just going to be scooping some of that barbecue mixture in each of these zucchinis. As you could see on the end right there, that zucchini broke just because I was scraping it out too hard, but I did spray this baking dish with some non-stick spray just beforehand, so nothing stuck to it. To give this some added flavor, I'm just brushing on a little bit more barbecue sauce on top and then putting some sharp cheddar cheese on top of that. I put some aluminum foil on top of this dish and placed it into a preheated oven to 400 degrees. I let this cook for about 20 to 25 minutes, then I took the aluminum foil off and let it cook for another 12 minutes. Here are my zucchini boats. For how simple this recipe was, it really did come out yummy. We all enjoyed it, and I really do suggest this one. To say that you're in for a treat is an understatement for this one. We are making some peanut butter M&M Blondies. So we're going to start by adding a stick of melted butter to my mixing bowl along with a cup of some light brown sugar, and then you're just going to mix this to combine. Once that's thoroughly mixed, we're just going to be adding in our 1 egg along with a teaspoon of some vanilla extract, and we're going to mix it again. This recipe does have quite a bit of mixing, but now we're going to add in a half a cup of peanut butter. This is just creamy peanut butter, and then we're going to mix this once again. Now we're just going to be adding in a pinch of salt along with 1 cup of some all-purpose flour, and then we're going to mix all of these ingredients to combine. Now for the super duper fun part, I'm just adding 1.5 cups of M&Ms to my electric mixer, and then I'm just mixing this with my hand. You don't ever want to mix M&Ms up in a recipe with your electric mixer, or else it's just going to crush your M&Ms into smaller pieces and it just won't turn out as pretty. But now I have my 8x8 baking dish right here, and I did line it with some parchment paper just so that it comes out easier once it's totally cooked. I just put the mixture in there and I kind of patted it down, and this goes into a preheated oven to 350 degrees, and it took me about 30 minutes to cook this, but start checking it at about 20 minutes. Here are the peanut butter blondies with M&Ms. These came out so yummy. The peanut butter and the M&Ms in these blondies just gave it the wow factor. It was just so yummy and so much flavor. We really did love these in our home. I'm definitely going to be making these here in the near future. They were that good. And that wraps up another week of What's for Dinner. I hope you guys all enjoyed it and got plenty of some meal inspiration. Don't forget to ask me questions down below in my comments. I can't wait to answer them here in the near future. And I will see you guys in Wednesday's video. Bye for now.